A very good evening to you all. Thank you for watching UBC television. This is the news tonight, the 8 o'clock edition, this Sunday, 24th day of July, 2022. My name is WADULO Mark Arnold Mugalu Muhammad on sign language. Let's take a look at the headlines. Tonight, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to grace SOROTI campaigns. Furthermore, President Museveni donates a Land Cruiser to Bishop AKANJUNA of KIGEZI Diocese. Nabanja to investigate SOROTI hospital land grabbing. And in sports, South Africa edged Morocco to lift Women's Cup prize. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a cup of coffee. It's going to be an hours-long bulletin. The Prime Minister, Robin Nabanja, has promised to institute an investigation on the alleged grabbing of SOROTI government hospital land. Nabanja made these remarks while meeting women leaders from all wards and cells in SOROTI East constituency in SOROTI this evening. We have a detailed report.
The Prime Minister, Robin Nabanja, has promised to institute an investigation into the alleged land grabbing at SOROTI Government Hospital. Nabanja made the remarks while meeting women leaders from SOROTI East constituency in SOROTI City. Premier Nabanja says SOROTI hospital land grabbing has to be addressed and also the hospital revamped.
Jenna Cheng told me before that the hospital land here in SOROTI got problems. People encroached on it. And now they are constructing a blood bank elsewhere because they have space at that place. So I want to institute an investigative team to go and find out those people who stole the land, and we shall remove them from that land.
Nabanja asked women to vote Herbert Ariko, the NRM flag bearer, because he will act as a bridge between government and SOROTI City.
We agree that there are challenges. We agree that government needs to do more. But we need to do more with people who are subscribing to NRM, who will sit in our caucus and fight for you. All that we have got is because of the president.
SOROTI City East constituency elections are slated for Thursday next week on 28th July. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Relatedly, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is expected to grace the SOROTI East by-elections campaign by this Monday. Museveni will be drumming up support for the party flag bearer Herbert Ariko. The NRM Vice Chairperson for Eastern Uganda, Captain Mike Mukula, calls for discipline and calm in the by-election.
The situation in SOROTI will be similar to this on Monday. In his capacity as chairman of the ruling National Resistance Movement, President Yoweri Museveni will lead the campaigns for the party flag bearer Herbert Ariko. Anxious and looking forward to the moment is NRM National Vice Chairperson for Eastern Uganda, Captain Mike Mukula.
The coming of President Museveni equally should not worry the supporters of FDC or the other political parties. The position is that we are in power. It's a government which is implementing its manifesto. And our interest is to see that we maintain the stability of the country. Now that the country is peaceful from the north to the south, this election should not cause any fear or distortions.
Mukula, who calls for calm and discipline ahead of the president's visit, reveals what is in stock for the people of Soroti East.
Our expectation of the president's visit really is to see that as the chairman of the party, he will be able to deliver and package the manifesto for not only the Soroti City East, the city, Teso, but the country at large. And we expect him to walk the voters through the expectations of the new leadership and the new member of parliament.
To have a successful campaign on Monday, the regional police operating in Soroti has also guided.
We have deployed enough personnel, both in terms of person and machinery, to make sure the activity is peaceful. So this is to make sure that the electorates can exercise their constitutional right to peacefully elect their own leaders.
This guidance comes in the wake of reports that founder president of the Forum for Democratic Change, Dr. KIGEZI, is expected on the same day.
We are very prepared to receive our president. We have organized very well. We are going to receive him in 2 venues. The first venue will be at St. Kizito ground in Madela, and then the second venue will be at Marapesu Primary School.
Our people shouldn't be worried because the president can be in Soroti as a head of state, but at the same time, he can be here as a party chairperson, or he can be here in both capacities.
They must not forget that the president of Uganda is also the chairman of the NRM party. And when it comes to campaign for the candidate, the president definitely takes precedence. So they shouldn't think that they are going to disorganize the president's campaign.
Campaigns officially end on Tuesday, with elections slated for Thursday, 28th July 2022. Henry Okrut, UBC.
In other news, married people should always remember to front God at every step if they are to last a lifetime. Describing God's love as the glue that holds couples together, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, sought out married people to exercise patience, respect one another, and ensure quality communication for peace to prevail in their homes. Now, the First Lady was speaking at the closing ceremony of a 2-day marriage conference hosted by the Bible Society of Uganda.
After identifying one another, a man and woman decide to live as husband and wife in total exclusion of everyone else. To concretize this, under the church marriage, couples often make vows, committing to keep by each other's side no matter what comes. Constant renewal of these vows is now sought to by one magical bullet to keep the marrieds together and stronger.
Husband and wife must learn to work together as a team because they can accomplish much more than they can when they are working apart.
While addressing participants at the marriages conference, the First Lady, Janet Museveni, called on couples to always front God in every step of their marriage.
Remember always that our Lord Jesus Christ offers grace when we fail. We are all scarred by sin, but in the gospel we find forgiveness and the joy of being washed clean. Let us be keenly aware that God's presence is part of a holy matrimony.
Drawing from her own experience, Museveni challenged fathers to be priests in their homes and ensure full-time presence in parenting.
Leave a child with the father.
Earlier, participants were treated to a cocktail of lecturers on resolving marital conflict and life in a Christian home.
When you come home, your children should actually come to embrace you. I don't know how many of you actually even hug your children. Hugging your children, simple thing. But that is an expression of that affection, of that love that a child needs.
An academician and evangelist, Reverend Canon Dr. John Senyonyi and his wife missed no words cautioning parents against being law enforcers.
Developing children into significance, they must be significant somewhere.
So it is important for us to understand that we are talking about a task that has been given to you by God to raise those children. And by the way, this is not just the wife, and I'm glad that again Steve did emphasize that. Many times when we are speaking about parenting, I make sure that I emphasize the role of the father. That the father should be present in the life of each and every one of their children.
After all was said and done, participants shared their experiences and lessons learned out of the first ever marriage conference in Uganda.
But the topics cut across how to be and enjoy a Christian marriage. And they were specifically targeted at the Christian marriage, which is one man to one woman to the exclusion of all others for life. So it couldn't have been more timely, especially coming out of COVID, when it was not possible to meet in such big numbers. This, I think, is a big movement for me. I take as a big movement for people now to go out and arrange more in smaller clusters so that we revive, because marriages were battered during COVID.
Responsible parenting is something that has clearly come out in this 2 days marriage conference. The moment you do not offer quality time to your children, in essence, you are running out from the responsibility of parenting.
And with this glaring evidence, calls for another edition were too loud to ignore. Sudat Kaye, Dokas Kimono, UBC News.
State House has handed over a brand new Toyota Land Cruiser to the Bishop of KIGEZI Diocese, the Right Reverend Gadi AKANJUNA. The vehicle was delivered at the Bishop's residence, Rugarama Hill in Kabale Municipality, by the State House Controller Jane Bareche.
A brand new Toyota Land Cruiser GR Sport to the Bishop of KIGEZI Diocese, Right Reverend Gadi AKANJUNA, to facilitate him in his pastoral and evangelism work.
My message to the President, as ever, he has been supporting KIGEZI, and not only KIGEZI, the Christians, he has been supporting us in various activities. My message is that we are behind him. We shall, because church and state should have good relationship. So we shall use this kind of relationship to extend the kingdom. We thank him very much and we wish him success in his endeavors as the head of the state.
The vehicle was delivered at the Bishop's residence on Rugrama Hill in Kabale town by the State House Controller Jane Bareche, who thanked the leadership of KIGEZI Diocese for being patient as they waited for the vehicle, which was a presidential gift to Bishop AKANJUNA at his consecration ceremony that was held at Lower Playground in Kabale town on 29th of May.
Back the other one because it was not fit, and the president always donates only one car for the diocese. So we are supposed to take the other one which is not fit for the diocese and give it to any other beneficiary that is in a good line.
How should the bishop use the vehicle?
It is his personal vehicle. He's supposed to use it any way he wants to use it in relation to his service of the diocese.
The head of laity for KIGEZI Diocese, Reverend Canon Johnson Byarantuma Monono, the head of clergy, Reverend Canon Ruben Byomuhanji, and Bishop AKANJUNA thanked President Yoweri Museveni for fulfilling his pledge and promised to continue supporting his leadership that has created development in Uganda.
This time, Otuwa is the President Munonga. Kanu Mugambire, Otaba Chigaba Buijamu. If you tugamba ekituli amutima twakola twakwebaza mbe twamwebaza kandi twena ngo mutwebalize ekini kyango munonga konga ticho chonka atwena tkorera bintu bingi munonga dayos nebimanya
Bishop AKANJUNA later handed back the Ronald Kaleos vehicle that had earlier been given to him by Mrs. Bariachi. Joseph Oko, UBC, Take 3.
The Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Matia Kasaija, has hailed Father Dr. Agapitas Hector Businge for the tremendous work of supplementing government programs in both spiritual and economic development in Hoima Diocese. This was at a ceremony in Chibale district where the man of God marked 25 years in priesthood.
The Minister of Finance and Economic Development, Matia Kasaija, has thanked a Catholic priest for establishing vocational schools. Kasaija was officiating the launch of the 5 religious books authored by Reverend Father Dr. Agapitas Businge as he celebrated his silver jubilee at Bujuni Catholic Parish in Chibale Town Council.
buri muntu akushobora akagure kandi agenda akashome n'ebirimu nabyo turore muri ngo turakora ki turabihondera tube abantu bakunze baruhanga. I launched the book.
Minister Kasaija implored Christians to embrace government programs.
Twenyigire omu kigambo ekyo kukora ensimbi omu parishes zaitu namuri tuli.
The chief celebrant thanked God for saving his life and acknowledged Christians and the clergy for their prayers which enabled him to reach 25 years in priesthood.
To the date of my ordination and birthday, there are three reasons. I would have died before I turned 5 months in priesthood. On the 15th of February 1998, I got a heart attack. Dr. Edward Chigonya, the late, was my doctor. But I'm standing before you as a testimony of the healing hand of God.
Noeline Basemera Chisembo, the Chibale woman member of parliament, thanked Father Agapitas Businge for publishing religious books that act as guidance to the married.
Nkeka ya Kisembo. Baitu na abantu bayingi mune bijuma tubirozire ebyabasaseredoti abasista abasomesa n'abantu abandi bona bosomeseze baba bomugaso mu ihanga ntugonza kusema.
Mose John Nyamtale, 84 years, of Chiringo Town Council, the father of the chief celebrant, Father Agapitas, says his son had been inspired to become a priest from his childhood. A cross-section of Christians applauded Father Agapitas for the hard work and counseling. Sudat Kaye, Andrew Mosinguzi, UBC News.
In more news, Uganda National Roads Authority is to start construction works of roads in Sembabule district. The Executive Director, UNRA, AKANJUNA, accompanied by the State Minister of General Duties, Anifa Kawoya, was inspecting Chabakuza Rwebitakuli Road, Rwebitakuli Matete and Matete Sembabule Road.
The road network from Chabakuza, Rwebitakuli, Matete to Sembabule is in dire need of retouch for easy access, business prosperity and quality livelihoods of the users and residents. The Executive Director, Uganda National Roads Authority, UNRA, AKANJUNA, the State Minister for Health, General Duties, Anifa Kawoya, in company of Sembabule District leadership, inspected the affected roads. The team drove through the dusty roads and towards some points had to park their cars and move on foot to inspect the hotspots where the accidents usually happen and drainage. The Executive Director of UNRA, AKANJUNA, noted that inadequate funding is the main challenge that the authority is facing.
So in essence, we're coming back to repair the Maram Road, bring our equipment, because in some places the drainage is very poor. So we'll work on the drainage, and also where we need repairs, where there are potholes, we shall do the repairs. Equipment we have, the staff we have, we need funding for fuel and materials so that we can intervene when we need to, when the road is deteriorated. So a team will come and assess the intervention that needs to be done.
Anifa Kaoya appealed to Sembabule district local government to put aside their political differences and support government programs for the development of the area.
Budget intono naye kisuse kino sikyakugumikirizibwa so saagala byabufuzi wano luno oluguudo nange nduyitamu wano bayitako wali eno gyensaalibwa gyembeera ate mulimu gwaffe nga gavumenti yeye ajja okutuula ate nange mbeera mu kumanya nti sente twazisala.
Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
Now, residents of Kotido district are calling for the accelerating of the food relief distribution exercise, but also help find a lasting solution to the food crisis and other perennial tribulations in the area. Presently, government-aided schools are being flooded by non-learners who scramble for the food and porridge meant for the pupils at school.
All looks serene from above Kotido district in Karamoja sub-region, but lurking beneath is a cocktail of worries. This area has been hit hard by the hunger crisis that has ravaged the area for a month now. The most affected are the elderly and the children. It is 10 a.m. and this is break time at Lokitela Ebu Primary School in Lokitela Town Council. With over 2,000 pupils, this is what they all ought to share for breakfast. Have a cup of porridge and it's not always enough. The situation is rather catastrophic at Losakucha Primary School, approximately 50 kilometers away. The pupils here are to share a mixture of maize grains and beans for lunch. The food is not enough, and the anticipation of those waiting in the line is intense. Teachers here say they are overwhelmed.
In the morning, learners come and we count them. We measure food which are enough for those ones we have counted, but you find out that later some learners report after we have finished counting. So the food that we have measured becomes less for those ones who have come late. Parents bring learners, they register, but during this time, at the moment like this, we have problem of hunger in the family. So most of the parents send their children to school purposely to feed, not to do what? Not for education purpose.
Kotido District Education Officer says enrollment in all primary schools here has increased exponentially, adding that schools ought to be given priority in the government food distribution exercise.
Our enrollment runs at 34,456 children. From this enrollment, you find out the enrollment at the lower classes are more than the one of the upper classes. The lower mean from P1 to P3. You have a school that has 400 children of P1 only. A school like Nakapelmoru, you go to Kaisheri, you go to Rengen, primary schools. The enrollment at the lower is very, very high. The contribution is one. As we had said earlier, the district is hit by famine. Most of these children go to school in order to get some survival. And you find when young ones at the ECD centers also go to the school.
Now, development partners are coming on board to help communities against famine crisis in Karamoja.
Some of the biggest things that hinder them from coming to school is hunger. So as the project, we have engaged parents in income generating activities. Some of them are petty trade, and others are food processing, as well as farming.
The Adventist Development Relief Agency, ADRA Uganda, believes that the CREC project has gone a long way in bringing all those concerned to help deal with the low numbers of school enrollment.
So in so doing, we would want to first of all tackle the problem of poor attitude of the parents, also work to look at engaging stakeholders to see how best we can support each other to ensure that the children are brought out of the villages to schools.
Government's food distribution exercise is currently ongoing in the region, and there is a sigh of relief. However, many in the area feel like this alone is dealing with the symptoms and not the cause. Ngabo Emon, reporting for UBC TV in Karamoja sub-region.
Thank you very much, Ngabo Emon. In other news, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation tonight premieres a feature story entitled Commander-in-Chief. The historical mini-feature series is meant to showcase Uganda's presidency through archival content of some of the activities performed and the events attended by Uganda's presidents in the post-independence era. Tonight, in the first edition of the Commander-in-Chief's files, we'll get to see what the President of the Republic of Uganda had to say 29 years ago when he was handed over the draft constitution in the then Mbarara municipality. We'll give you that story later on. A number of teenage girls in a number of homes are subjected to sexual abuse by their relatives and peers. In the process, some get pregnant, a situation that stigmatizes both the girls and their close relatives. At WAKISA Ministries in Buyala, Wakiso, 33 girls, some as young as 13 years, have tales of sexual abuse, dropping out of school and reject as a result of early pregnancy. Now, Stanbic Bank Uganda staff this weekend extended a helping hand to WAKISA Ministries so that teenage mothers are helped to get vocational skills, rejoin school after giving birth, and counseled out of the trauma.
WAKISA Ministries is a pregnancy crisis center located in Buyala Wakiso district that is providing emotional and material support to teenage girls who were forced into early pregnancies through sexual abuse.
When a girl gets pregnant, she's rejected by family because there's that social stigma and they just don't want to see her in the public. The family is ashamed. The father is so angry in most cases. So what they do, they will go and kill themselves by committing abortions. So what WAKISA has also done is to raise some money to take some girls back to school. And we have some who have gone through up to the U level of the university.
The center runs a pregnancy crisis center which offers temporary shelter, pre- and postnatal care and counseling for young girls who are victims of sexual abuse from their families or neighbors and subsequently abandoned by their families.
Please, men, let's hold our values high. It is the best way to live, and we have to give it our best shot so that we bring a better generation. These are my
The teenagers are undergoing counseling as they prepare them for other opportunities, especially after giving birth.
We have trained them in vocational skills, that is tailoring, cookery, gardening, computer, English classes, and they do learn these skills so that they can go home and use those skills to earn a living if they're not able to go back to school.
Stanbic Bank Uganda is one of the organizations that has been providing support to this center.
They've been bringing us beds for the new center, mattresses for the new center, everything, you know, they've brought so much since we came in here, and I thank God for the Stanbic Bank. I really do. We have sewing machines in the class which were donated by Stanbic, and of course other companies have come in to help because this is a charity.
Stanbic Bank also planted close to 250 fruit trees at the center as part of environmental awareness support to the young mothers.
Also encouraging these mothers to be able to preserve the environment. So we brought 250 trees for a start, but we are bringing others in phases. We have over 1,000 trees, and these are not just trees, they are fruit trees. We have mangoes, pineapples.
So as part of our goal to look at the environment sustainability activities, we're going to ensure that these trees are planted today as we do this activity, and we are going to work hand in hand with WAKISA to ensure that these trees grow.
The teenager girls are also helped to access basic vocational skills training and after they have given birth are returned to school for formal education so that they can gain means to support themselves and their children for a brighter future.
That's why we moved from Kampala. We were in Namirembe. We moved from there. We built a center in Wiera when we bought the land. And we have a big dormitory which can take in 50 girls at any one time. We have a teaching facility where we do tailoring and cookery and computer.
WAKISA Ministries was founded 16 years ago by Vivian Chitio, a professional nurse who early in her life witnessed a young girl dying as a result of forced abortion as a result of teenage pregnancy. Brian Tumwinebya Ruhanga, UBC News.
Furthermore, Pastor Robert Kayanja of Miracle Cathedral Center has asked Sembabule District local government to address water scarcity issues for the development and prosperity of the area. This was during his visit to the district for his Prosperity and Deliverance Crusade held for the populace and district leaders in Sembabule District.
Pastor Robert Kayanja of Miracle Center Cathedral has held special session with key leaders of Sembabule District. The meeting was held at Godfrey Aini Kaguta's home. Kayanja held the special prayers for the top district leaders of Sembabule like State Minister General Duties Anifa Kawoya, LC5, RDCs, area MPs and pastors, and later toured the farm of Sodo where he was gifted with cows. The pastor appealed for cohesion in the district and also appealed to authorities to address the issue of water scarcity in the district and other environmental challenges.
n'ebitundu ebirala byonna gye balunda oba gye balima emmere mazzi olwa climate change ne byonna ebibaddewo tukitegedde nti amazzi kintu kikulu nnyo kati kubanga bw'oba n'amazzi olunda olima embeera tekufuga kakati omusana gwa eggwanga lyonna emmere yonna esimbiddwa efudde lwakubanga amazzi twali tugamanaginga bulungi toni kati tukyuseemu tusooke tuconcentratinge ku kintu ky'amazzi naye ate era tuvumbule n'ebiki bye tulina okulima nti ekiseera bwe kijja ekyekyeya ebintu bino bye twalima bisobola okusavayivinga tusimbye nnyo kalitunsi tudde ku miti egy'ebikoola ebinene.
Hanifa Kawoya appreciated the gesture of unity, stating that it will address many challenges that Sembabule district is facing.
His concern, number one, is oneness. Oneness is different from unity. You can disagree, but oneness, you want to agree together for a purpose.
Sembabule district is one of the districts most hit with effects of climate change and environmental challenges. Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
We'll now take a short commercial break, and when we return, we'll be back with business. Stay tuned.
Vimba! Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
Children are a special gift, one we must protect and nurture with care. Ensuring your child has a birth certificate opens doors for them that would otherwise be hard to access, such as immunization, school admission, or simply proving their age and belonging. Let us do our duty as parents and guardians by registering our children and getting them birth certificates. For more information, visit the NERA office closest to you or call the toll-free number 0800-211-700. This message is brought to you by NERA.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Oil and Gas Moment, brought to you by Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey. The development and commercialization of Uganda's oil and gas resources is being undertaken through 4 flagship projects, which will bring in investment of $15 billion into the economy. The Kingfisher project will produce 40,000 barrels of crude oil per day at peak. The Tilenga project will produce 190,000 barrels of crude oil per day at peak. The 1,443-kilometer East African crude oil pipeline project will transport the produced crude oil to access the international market via the Tanga port in Tanzania. The Uganda refinery project will process up to 60,000 barrels of oil per day to provide petroleum products to the Ugandan market and its immediate neighbors. Additional exploration work is ongoing in the Kanyotaba and Ngasa areas in the Albertine Graben. For more information, visit www.pau.go.ug. Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
National Council for Higher Education will hold the 4th Annual Higher Education Conference on the 14th and 15th September 2022. The conference theme is Enhancement of Teaching, Learning and Assessment with Ordeal in Higher Education. The guest of honor will be the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Honorable Janet Kataha Museveni. The conference will be held physically at Hotel Africana for only invited guests and open to online participants via Zoom webinar that will be shared under the events section at www.unche.or.ug. The keynote speakers are Ezra Nazim, Senior Fellow of Higher Education Academy UK, Professor Henk Gerald Sola, a Dutch organizational theorist and Emeritus Professor of Business, Engineering and ICT at Groningen University, the Netherlands. The National Council for Higher Education is receiving papers from researchers and scholars for publication in the Uganda Higher Education Review, Journal of National Council for Higher Education. For more details, send inquiries to cmuhumuza@unche.or.ug, info@unche.or.ug, or call 0783 040024 or 0704 800926 +256 39 32 62 140/4.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
I remember the lockdown, when the streets were empty and our lives disrupted, when businesses closed and our livelihoods hung in the balance. Hospitals were full. We lost loved ones, jobs, and hope. Our children couldn't study anymore. We cannot let this happen again. We should not go back. Get fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and join the millions of Ugandans who are already vaccinated.
World Cup in the desert, the first one in the Middle East, the first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals. Out of this world celebration.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Gold TV, love it.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight. We now take you into the world of business. The president of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda, Constantine Otieno Mayende, has appealed to all Ugandans to streamline their expenditure as commodity prices continue to soar. This was during the closing of a three-day 10th CPA Economic Forum that attracted close to 600 participants at the Imperial Resort Hotel in Entebbe.
We have set the framework for quality assurance. We have set the framework for adoption of standards in the country.
For the last 3 days, leading Ugandan accountants and their East African counterparts have been holding a top-notch economic forum organized by the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda.
Our aim was to gather views from the accountancy profession on how we can develop our economy responsibly and respond to the impact of COVID, but also to respond to the struggling economy.
The symposium, which among other things discussed the current hike in commodity prices, gathered critical issues to present to government on how to improve the economic growth in tough times.
The government needs to go back on the drawing board and know what do we need and what do we want. Separate the needs from the wants. It's a time now to be frugal. It is abnormal time. We need to be frugal. We need to know what are our basics, and we start from there.
The accountants now want the public to be frugal and extra cautious in all their expenditures to avoid descending into a financial void.
Ugandans to come up and support the government during this time. It is actually not just an issue of government. It is a joint effort. We are saying let government and the citizens come to the drawing board together and answer the questions of the high commodity prices that we are facing now.
The accountants made recommendation that they intend to present to government through the Minister of Finance on how to tame some of the challenges accruing from high commodity prices.
To help both the consumer, the public, but as well as the practitioners, they are our members, to ably serve the market.
The three-day 10th CPA Economic Forum has been held under the theme, A Responsive Economic Development Agenda, and attracted close to 690 participants from East African region and beyond.
691 participants attend in total over the 3 days. 415 were physical here and 276 were online.
Enjoy more GBs for the same price on Airtel. Shareable using to Gabonais. We have increased GBs across all your favorite packs. Now, 4 GB is at 10,000 shillings and 10.5 GB at 22,500 shillings, all valid for a week. For the heavy data users, enjoy 24 GB at 50,000 shillings and 50 GB at 100,000 shillings, all valid for a month. Dial *175# or use the My Airtel app to buy these and more affordable weekly and monthly data bundles on Airtel, the smartphone network.
Are you a player in the tourism sector with a struggling business following the COVID pandemic? UDB, in partnership with European Union, is providing financial assistance to businesses operating in the tourism sector. You can access subsidized loan with grants, loan with a tenure of up to 5 years, free business advisory services, and free environmental impact assessment. Visit www.udbl.co.ug/call for applications to apply. Deadline for submission is 31st October 2022 at 5 p.m. For more information, please call 0414 355 509.
The Electoral Commission has appointed 21st Thursday to 26th Tuesday, July 2022 as the period for candidates' campaign meetings for the by-election of directly elected Member of Parliament for Soroti East Constituency and City Division directly elected Councillor for Pioneer Ward in Soroti City. During this period, candidates shall not use or publish any language or defamatory words which incite disorder, hatred, violence, or which threaten war. The Commission urges all candidates, their agents, and the public to adhere to the harmonized program and set rules and regulations guiding the campaign period. All persons participating in the by-election shall be required to comply with guidelines issued by the Electoral Commission in accordance with the Government of Uganda and Ministry of Health measures against the spread of COVID-19, which include social distancing, washing of hands, and wearing face masks.
Leaders who care create a good learning environment.
Because a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Mbara and Jinja.
Government, under the visionary leadership of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has taken definitive steps towards building a robust, competitive, and sustainable mobility industrial value chain in Uganda. The efforts are geared to interventions during synergies between the state, private sector, academia, and development partners to promote local manufacturing of motor vehicles and auto parts, establish efficient, integrated, sustainable, safe, and inclusive public transport systems, and promote the shift to electric mobility solutions. Kira Motors Corporation evolved from a Makerere University Innovation Initiative. The core business of Kira Motors is to develop, make, and sell sustainable mobility solutions, including motor vehicles, parts, systems, and services in Africa. Through the company, Uganda has developed and brought to market the Kayola EVS, a premium zero-emissions electric city bus. The Kayola EVS has a capacity of 90 passengers and is capable of a range of 300 kilometers on a single charge, requiring 1.5 hours to fully charge. The Kayola EVS is equipped with modern technology, including but not limited to onboard Wi-Fi, USB charging ports, CCTV cameras, digital display boards, cashless ticketing system, automated sanitizer dispenser, sanitation bin, special seats and a ramp for persons with disabilities, multiple stage electronically controlled air suspension, and an Android-based infotainment system. The Kayala EVS creates immense enterprise value for a bus operator with its energy consumption of only 360 Uganda shillings per kilometer compared to the diesel equivalent that would consume over 5 times as much in fuel in a business as usual scenario. Construction of the Kira vehicle plant in Jinja is undertaken by the National Enterprise Corporation, supervised by technology consults from Makerere University. The plant is expected to be commissioned by June 2023. Bus building is currently done in partnership with Luwero Industries Limited in Nakasongola. Uganda has electric vehicle initiatives in several segments, with investment by Zembo, Borderwork, NFT Mobility and International University of East Africa championing the manufacturing of electric motorcycles with locally assembled batteries and battery swapping systems. These lighthouse initiatives are projected to catalyze investment by small and medium enterprises in the manufacture of motor vehicle parts, components and systems, contributing towards import substitution and ultimately export of high-value products. You are invited to participate in the electric mobility value chain either as a user or provider of value-added services in the ecosystem.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You say I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just set it for register.
What's going on here? He sells things from the shop, and behind my back, he gets the money and gives it to his girlfriends.
But just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet and only you, the owner, have access to it. Just dial *185 *10 hash and now you are on. No waiting. Huh? This insanity is sweet. Give them also.
I only take Airtel Money Pay. It's easy and secure.
Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
Not mixing your business money with your Kameza money. No, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back. It's now time for sports. National Organizing Committee Chairperson for the upcoming Commonwealth Games, Hamson Obua, has provided updates to the country at a news conference hosted at the National Council of Sports NCS head offices in Lugogo. Obua was flanked by the NCS General Secretary, Dr. Bernard Ogwell. Ogwell allayed fears about team allowances, which he says are delayed not due to negligence, but rather government procedure and will be paid as soon as possible. The games start next Thursday in Birmingham.
Went through 3 phases. Phase number 1 was qualification of the different sporting disciplines that are competed for at the games. Phase number 2 was preparation of Team Uganda. As I speak, we are now moving to phase number 3 and the final phase, that is presentation of Team Uganda. As you have seen, we have been meeting. Yesterday we met, today we are just from a meeting. We are meeting now to finalize on travel arrangements. We already have a lean team on the ground in Birmingham to set the stage for the arrival of the different teams from Uganda. As we head for competition, we know we will win some, we will lose some. When we win, we will celebrate as a team. When we lose, we also mourn as a team, and we make it better. But we have assembled the best. They went through qualification phases in different sporting disciplines. They were not unpicked. They qualified on merit, and we are sure that the team that we are moving with, which is again the biggest contingent in the history of our participation in the Commonwealth, we have over 80 athletes. And we know that we will get good results.
As leaders, and as a leader here, I must provide solutions.
I therefore want to say that Team Uganda is going high spirit to Birmingham when virtually all the due processes of pre-qualification, qualification, preparation, and presentation of Team Uganda has been done in accordance with our expectation. Challenges withstanding, as I've already explained, issues to do with access to the government IFIM system is beyond National Council, it's beyond the ministry. But we have been assured that this will be cleared by Monday. And I'm very sure once cleared, will be the first priority list of payment. And Monday, after by the time they arrive in the Birmingham, the money will be in their account. They can spend it for whatever they want.
Hilda Magaya scored twice in 8 minutes after the hour marked to hand South Africa a first ever Women's Africa Cup of Nations title as they beat hosts Morocco 2-1 in a grueling final in Rabat on Saturday. It ended the run of five finals without success for Banyana, who completed the tournament in Morocco with a 100% record, as well as securing qualification to next year's Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. These are the details. Well, that brings us to the end of our 8 o'clock edition of the News Tonight. Join us later at 10 p.m. for another hour's bulletin. My name is WADULO Mark Arnold, Mugalu Mohammed on Sign Language. See you at 10.